Another day of unfriendly skies over Europe is making this weekend a travel nightmare. Hundreds of thousands of passengers are stranded around the world because of that massive volcanic ash cloud hovering over Europe, and thousands more flights have been canceled today. Let's go live right now to London's Heathrow Airport, where NBC's Tom Aspell is covering the bleak situation there. Tom, with a good morning. How about the latest you're hearing on how long this airspace will remain closed? Anything definite on that front?
Well, Alex, first of all, the British said that they wouldn't be flying anything until 1 o'clock on Sunday morning at the very earliest, but now they've said they'll have another announcement within the next hour, and everybody expecting them to say there'll be nothing before Monday morning. The French have certainly said that. Airports in northern France, including Paris, will be closed until Monday morning, and right across Europe it's the same thing. Airports closed, flights cancelled in Scandinavia, the Low Countries, the Netherlands, France, Germany, down as far south as Italy, and into Central Europe as well, where over in Krakow, it seems that dignitaries will not be able to attend the president's funeral there. He was killed in an air crash last week, due to be buried Sunday, but now it seems that because of the no-fly restrictions, foreign leaders may not be able to land there. Now, there's chaos in train stations and airports across Europe. Many people returning after spring break, of course, and now no way to fly back to their homes. So trains are running at full capacity. Eurostar alone is carrying 50,000 people every day between Paris and Brussels and London. Many people resorting to taxis to cross borders and get as far as they can, as close to home as they can. We're hearing that John Cleese, the British comedian, tried to get back to Britain and had to take a taxi from Oslo to Brussels. He paid $5,000 to catch a ferry back to Britain to make another rendezvous. And I'm sure it's the same for many people. They're paying exorbitant prices just trying to get as close to home as possible. Alex?
Yeah, and Tom, we're thinking about the transportation and the travel industry, hotels and the like affected, but you brought up a good point earlier that a lot of the cargo that's being affected, I mean, we're talking pharmaceuticals. What's the latest on that front?
Oh, absolutely. Perishable goods like fruit, flowers, stuff like that, and as you mentioned, pharmaceuticals. All that European air cargo is just backing up, and people are fearing that there will be shortages of certain goods before too long. Now, it seems that the news from Iceland is that that volcano has not stopped erupting, and there's no way of telling, well, it will stop. It could go on for days or even weeks, and the situation's just going to get worse. You know, there are passenger backlogs right across the world, all the way as far as the Far East and down to Australia, which just announced that Qantas, its national flag carrier, would not be flying into Europe for the foreseeable future. So this is just going to snowball. Not only that, but when the airports do reopen, when airspace is cleared once again, it'll take days and days for operations to get back to normal. Many planes have to return to their original bases. They have to take on food, they have to take on fuel, and get their schedules back again. So this is a mess that's not going to be solved quickly. Alex?
Okay, thank you very much, Tom Aspell from Heathrow. Well, a geologist in Iceland says activities increased at the erupting volcano, causing the ash plume to rise more than 5 miles in the sky.